When a surgeon recommends an operation, many people feel the decision has already been made. The doctor understands the problem, the hospital has the equipment, the tests are complete, and all that remains is signing the documents. But surgery should not be treated like a verdict. It should be the beginning of a conversation, especially after the age of 60. This does not mean older adults should never have surgery. Many operations save lives, restore movement, control disease, and greatly improve quality of life. The point is different. The more complex the procedure and the more fragile the body, the more carefully the indication, preparation, risks, alternatives, and recovery need to be evaluated. I'm Edu Rodriguez, a pharmacist, biochemist, diabetes and health educator, a member of the Brazilian Diabetes Society, and I have lived with type 1 diabetes for more than 26 years. And today, I want to show you 5 types of surgery that require special attention in older adults. Not to create fear, but to help you ask better questions. Because the most important thing is not only surviving the operation, it is being able to get through recovery with independence, mental clarity, and quality of life. Chronological age alone does not determine risk. There are 80-year-olds who are strong, active, and independent, while some people at 65 already have frailty, muscle loss, several medical conditions, and little physical reserve. That reserve matters. Anesthesia, inflammation, blood loss, immobility, pain, poor sleep, and the use of multiple medications place major stress on the body. The heart works harder. The lungs may take longer to recover. The kidneys may process medications more slowly, and the brain may develop confusion or memory changes after surgery. That is why any major operation needs to consider the entire body, not only the organ being treated. The first surgery that deserves special attention is open heart surgery in frail patients. Coronary bypass surgery or valve replacement may be necessary and can save lives, but opening the chest, using a heart-lung machine, and exposing the body to such intense stress can create serious risks in people with kidney disease, diabetes, lung problems, muscle weakness, or cognitive decline. This does not mean refusing heart surgery. It means asking whether a less invasive option exists. Today, some heart valve problems and some artery blockages can be treated through catheters without fully opening the chest or stopping the heart in the same way. Not every patient is eligible, but the question needs to be asked, is there a less aggressive approach for my case? The second surgery is extensive spinal surgery for chronic pain. Back pain is very common with aging, and when it lasts for months or years, the idea of fixing everything with screws, rods, and spinal fusion can sound attractive. But spinal surgery should not be recommended only because an MRI shows wear and tear. Degenerative changes appear in many people who have no pain at all. There are situations in which surgery is urgent, such as severe spinal cord compression, progressive weakness, major loss of sensation, or loss of bladder and bowel control. But when the problem is chronic pain without a neurological emergency, the alternatives need to be explored carefully. Physical therapy, strengthening, weight management, movement adjustments, medications, injections, and other strategies may help considerably in some cases. Extensive spinal surgery can lead to infection, blood clots, hardware failure, a long recovery, and extra stress on the vertebrae above and below the operated area. So the question is, does this surgery have a good chance of improving my pain and function, or will it only correct an image on a scan? The third situation involves major cancer surgery. When someone hears the word cancer, the natural reaction is to want the tumor removed immediately. And many times, surgery really is the best option. But in very frail people with heart, kidney, or lung disease, or very limited physical reserve, a large operation may remove the tumor while causing complications the body cannot overcome. The goal of treatment should not only be removing the disease, it should be giving the patient more good years of life. That is why the conversation should include alternatives such as radiation, medication, smaller procedures, active surveillance, or treatment focused on controlling the disease and symptoms. The most important question is, Which option offers the best balance between cancer control, recovery, and quality of life for someone with my health status? The fourth surgery is hip or knee replacement in people with several uncontrolled health conditions. These operations can transform lives. Many people who could barely walk regain independence. But when surgery is elective, there is time to prepare the body. Uncontrolled blood pressure, high blood sugar, anemia, obesity, smoking, muscle loss, urinary infections, heart problems, and kidney disease can increase the risk of complications. Sometimes delaying surgery for a few weeks to improve these conditions can make the procedure safer. This preparation is called prehabilitation. It may include improving nutrition, adding enough protein, controlling blood sugar, walking or doing adapted exercise, respiratory therapy, stopping smoking, and reviewing medications. For people with diabetes, blood sugar control deserves special attention because high glucose increases the risk of infection and delays healing. So before a joint replacement, ask, is my body truly ready for surgery right now? The fifth situation is emergency abdominal surgery. A perforated intestine, bowel obstruction, internal bleeding, or severe infection may require a rapid decision. In these cases, there may not be time for a long preparation, but that does not mean nothing can be done beforehand. Older adults should not ignore persistent abdominal pain, severe bloating, vomiting, fever, blood in the stool, or major changes in bowel habits. The earlier a problem is detected, the greater the chance of treating it before it becomes a serious emergency. It is also important to talk with family members before any crisis about preferences for care, treatment limits, and what quality of life means to you. That is not pessimism, it is planning. Now, there are 4 questions every person should ask before a major surgery. First, what may happen if I do not have this surgery right now? If the answer is that nothing urgent is likely to change, you may have time to get a second opinion, prepare your body, and explore alternatives. Second, is there a less invasive option? Catheter-based procedures, laparoscopy, endoscopy, robotic techniques, physical therapy, and medical treatment may be possible depending on the condition. Third, what will recovery realistically look like for someone with my age, health conditions, and daily routine? Do not accept only everything will be fine. Ask how long you may need help walking, who should stay with you at home, which complications are most common, and how long it may take to regain independence. Fourth, what are the real risks in my specific case? Not for the average patient, but for you, your blood sugar, your kidneys, your heart, your lungs, your medications, and your level of strength. Another essential step is reviewing every medication and supplement before surgery. Blood thinners, anticoagulant drugs, diabetes medications, herbal products, omega-3 supplements, and other products may need adjustments. Never stop anything on your own, but tell the surgical team everything you use. It is also helpful to have glasses and hearing aids returned as soon as possible after anesthesia. This may reduce confusion and disorientation. And never attend an important surgical consultation alone. Bring someone you trust to listen, take notes, and help you remember what was discussed. When a person hears words like cancer, risk, or surgery, it is normal to become frightened and stop absorbing information clearly. Getting a second opinion is not disrespectful to the first doctor. A good surgeon understands that you are making an important decision and deserve to know every reasonable option. Surgery saves lives, but surgery that is properly indicated, carefully prepared, and clearly explained is safer. The goal is not to avoid every operation. It is to avoid rushed decisions, procedures that are more aggressive than necessary, and recoveries for which the body was not prepared. If you have received a surgical recommendation, do not panic, but do not sign everything without understanding either. Ask questions, compare options, prepare your body. Bring someone with you. Seek another opinion when necessary. The surgeon holds the scalpel, but the decision needs to be built together with you. If this video helped you think more clearly about surgery after 60, leave your like and share it with someone who is considering a procedure. And tell me in the comments, what question would you ask your surgeon before a major operation? If you like learning about health, diabetes, and prevention in a simple, responsible way without fear-mongering, subscribe to the channel and stay with me for the next video.